crude laboratory in the basement of his home.
Guys, it's your boy Topher. I've been away for a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie, it's been a long time since I really put out like an actual video. I shot some footage on my DSLR and was messing around with like features on it and stuff. Had a lot going on, but I wanted to bring you guys a video and let you know that I'm back. I'm gonna try and put out a video a day for the next month, considering that today's the 1st of March. Let's do this shit. What, 31 days of videos straight back to back to back? Let's do it. Throw some DSLR videos in there, maybe like a weekly vlog once a week, something different. Today what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring you some Magic the Gathering Online. Magic the Gathering Online, I was able to put together one of my favorite decks, which has some very, very rare cards in it if they were real life cards. This was my favorite deck ever. This deck literally cost me about $350 to buy the whole entire deck. That's pieced apart card by card by card. If I was to purchase it, that's with the sideboard, the sleeves, and the case. Sleeves and the case for it was probably like $20, so it really wasn't that bad. But the cards in it are expensive. One of the reasons being is because of the Imperial Seal, which let me see if I can preview this. We're gonna play it here in a second. So this card right here, Imperial Seal, only came out in a limited edition run of cards. There's not that many that are available. At the time, this card was like $75 and was very, very hard to get a hold of. If you're not geeking out over this stuff, I totally understand. But for me, this is a more mental game of chess than anything else. It's all about mathematics and knowing what you can subtract and add and what you can do and what you can influence. So I'm going to do the World Gorga deck, which is a deck that if played perfectly on the first turn, you can actually pull off a win with what's called an infinite combo. But I'm just going to play it to show you guys how the deck works. So right off the bat, let's go over the hand. I've got a Putrid Imp, which is good because this is going to be one of the cards that we're going to need in order to get the combo working. Imperial Seal, which is going to allow us to search for the right card. We've got 3 land cards. Vivid Marsh gives me 2 counters on it. It comes into play tapped, I believe. And a mountain, Terramorphic Expanse, which is going to allow me to search for an actual swamp. Since I have a mountain, I'm going to search for a swamp. Animate Dead, which is part of the combo, and Banefire, which is part of the combo. So we've got 2 cards out of the 4 cards that we need in order to get the combo to go off. We're going to keep. I get another card that I could use. So this is actually going to give us our combo right here. So now we have everything that we need in order to give us our combo. And I'm going to show you, we can actually we're going to pull this off turn 2 if I can pull it off. It's actually going to be turn 3. So we're going to do Terramorphic Expanse. We're going to sacrifice it for a swamp. We might actually be able to do this turn 2. Okay, we're going to search for a swamp. Comes out tapped. Okay, that's the end of our turn. Now, we're playing solitaire here, so there's no enemy. I just wanted to show you guys how this works. So, we're going to end the turn. Beginning of the next turn, my land pops up. So now, I have the ability to use my Imperial Seal to find my last card, which is probably going to be, it's going to end up being, let me show you guys. Well, first, let me pull my Marsh out. It's going to come into play tapped. Pop our seal. The seal is going to allow me to look for a ritual. That was weird. Okay, because it was at the end of the turn. Okay. See, when you play MTG Online, you really got to pay attention to the prompts. Okay, so step 2. Now we've got our cards. This is going to give us what creatures we want. Now the reason why they call this the World Gorga combo deck is because if I pop my Dark Ritual, pop my Buried and use it, it's going to allow me to pick 3 creature cards. One of them has to be this one, the World Gorga Dragon. This card basically takes cards and moves them in and out of a plane of existence. And I'll explain the combo when it starts happening because it gets a little confusing. But we're going to pick the Gorga Dragon. We're going to pick another Imp. thought I had another creature card in here. For some reason I don't, and that makes me worried as to why there's only those creature cards. I might have to put some different creature cards in here. Alright, so we got our 3 creatures. Alright, they're in the graveyard. We end our turn. Beginning of the next phase, we have our mountain. Now, here's what we're going to do. We have to have a mountain in order for Banefire to get pulled off. Now, the reason why Banefire is so important is because how do I view it? Banefire deals X damage to target creature or player. If X is 5 or more, Banefire cannot be countered by spells or abilities if the damage can't be damage can't be prevented. So basically, this card allows you to do all your damage as a sorcery spell, and if it's high enough, it can't be countered. Can't. Okay, we're going to cancel that spell. We're going to play our Animate Dead. Animate Dead allows you to enchant a creature and bring it back to the playing field. Now the crutch in this is that it says that if that card leaves play, the creature goes back into the graveyard. So if Animate Dead for some reason is pulled off of the battlefield, or if it's basically pulled off of the board, then whatever creature it was enchanting goes right back into the graveyard. This creates an interesting loop, because if I use my Animate Dead on the World Gorga Dragon, here's what happens. It animates the World Gorga Dragon. Basically, this is what it does. It says, that dragon is now alive. But if something happens to me, that dragon goes back into the graveyard and dies again. The World Gorga Dragon, on the other hand, says that when it enters the battlefield, exile all other permanents you control. So basically, everything on my board gets exiled, or basically gets put into a pile outside of the game. Nothing happens to it. It basically doesn't exist for that time and place. But because the Animate Creature card is no longer on the board, it forces you to then put World Gorga Dragon back into the graveyard, right? Well, when that happens, World Gorga Dragon brings back your Animate Dead. So here's how it works. World Gorga Dragon's going to come out. It says, okay, all these cards are your permanents, I'm taking them. Well, because Animate Dead says, hey, wait a minute, I left the battlefield, now you gotta go back into the graveyard. Cards are exiled, Gorga Dragon's gotta go back into the graveyard. Look, my mana comes back into play. There you go. Tap your mana. Now we got a black and a red. And this is going to take a while. So, we need exactly 21 mana. And that 1 out of 21 has to be obviously a mountain. We have a swamp and a mountain. So, after a few of these, goes War Gorger, takes my stuff, let's put back into the graveyard. There's 4. And if I was to do this in real life, I'd just be like, do you want me to keep going? And if they tell me yes, I keep going. Because I'm pretty good at this. Put an extra couple in there. Now right here, you have enough mana to do it. So now you're going to click your Animate Dead. And the reason why you chose one of those other creatures is because now you have all this mana on your board. You're still at your main phase, which means you could play your Banefire now. You let the enchant creature happen. Creature comes on the board. You're at your main phase. Banefire player for how many ever you got. Bam, you hit him in 23. That's a turn 3 win. Turn 3 win. Turn 3 win. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the off-brand video. I know it's not a Call of Duty video, it's not a vlog. I went through a lot of stuff recently, just got back up on my feet. My son Blake broke his leg. I'm gonna have to bring you guys a video about that here sometime this week or next week, just to kind of explain like what it's like to be a dad sometimes. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, this is your boy Topher. Later, haters.